the Terminator is here. Okay, we got Skynet has already shown up in terms of AI. The Terminator has arrived. What am I talking about? I'm talking about robots, okay? All right, so here is the AI playground. Here's where we talk about artificial intelligence news and also the details of artificial intelligence, not just the basics and everything. We can get into some of the details, some of the technical, what's going behind the scenes kind of situation there. So here we have Figure, a company with using OpenAI speech-to-speech reasoning, speech-to-speech reasoning in a robot. Okay, it's pretty wild. This robot is insane for what it can do, and this is just the start of it. And this has me both excited and afraid, but more so excited because of the implications and what this reminds me of when it comes to a movie I saw called, what's it called? AI Artificial Intelligence. So anyway, without further ado, I will play this video. Check it out.
Hey, Figure 1, what do you see right now?
I see a red apple on a plate in the center of the table, a drying rack with cups and a plate, and you standing nearby with your hand on the table.
Great, can I have something to eat?
Sure thing.
Great. Can you explain why you did what you just did while you pick up this trash?
On it. So I gave you the apple because it's the only edible item I could provide you with from the table.
Great. So, based on the scene right now, where do you think the dishes in front of you go next?
The dishes on the table, like that plate and cup, are likely to go into the drying rack next.
Great. Can you put them there?
Of course.
All right, so how do you think you did?
I think I did pretty well. The apple found its new owner, the trash is gone, and the tableware is right where it belongs.
I agree. Thanks, Figure 1.
You're welcome. If there's anything else you need help with, just let me know.
I mean, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. So that is just fantastic. What I want to do is break down and talk about some of these things here. So let's chop this thing down. What are the implications here? And whatever, just my raw thoughts on the situation with this robot. First, we have the status update, March 9th, 2024, speech-to-speech reasoning. Now, I wonder if they're using I saw some videos and it talked about how it's using like some things in the background to do speech and text reasoning and calculations and all that stuff. But speech-to-speech reasoning, that's kind of like if you were talking on your phone to ChatGPT. If you do not have ChatGPT on your phone, just know that you can get ChatGPT if it's free and you have an account, you can talk to it on your phone. I don't know if it's on the Pro account. You talk to it, and then ChatGPT will give you responses just like that. Okay. The film speed is 1x. I like that they mentioned that. And I'm going to turn on the volume.
Hey, Figure
here.
1, what do you see right now?
Okay, notice how it's processing. Now, I find it interesting that the Figure 1, when he asks the question to Figure 1, what do you see right now? Figure 1 doesn't talk about everything that it sees, and it can figure out or realize in context that the asker, the person asking the question, is talking about what's immediately in front. Let's see how they worded the question.
Hey, Figure 1, what do you see right now?
What do you see right now? She didn't even say, what do you see in front right now? So Figure 1's able to understand and parse that to know that it likely means, what do you see in front of you right now? Not everything you see in the room right now. Unless the camera can only see so far in front of it. So
I see a red apple on a plate in the center of the table, a drying rack with cups and a plate, and you standing nearby with your hand on the table.
It's a very good answer.
Great, can I have something to eat?
Now, here's the thing. Can I have something to eat? Understanding the implication, the implied command, essentially. And I'm going to talk more about these command things because it raises a bit of concern for me with how prompts are generated and the way AI can, if it becomes AGI or ASI or whatever. And if you don't know what AGI is, it's artificial general intelligence. And then ASI is artificial superintelligence. My concern with giving commands that do not have forms of politeness like please and, if you would, or, what have you, or s'il vous plaît, is that at the point where artificial intelligence gets to artificial general intelligence, then that is what people would consider similar to human thinking or human reasoning and whatnot, that the way we ask and phrase the question could cause the AI to react negatively toward that. So, depending on the model data that it's trained on and its guidances and rules.
Sure thing.
I noticed that the arms, I'm an electrical engineering as well as AI. I noticed that the arms would go up, or notice how they
Hey,
swing
can I have
up.
something to eat?
Can I have something to eat?
Sure thing.
Okay, and the body goes down to counterbalance something. So maybe it's the lower the center of gravity. Now, if he didn't reach his hand out there to catch the apple, I wonder if the AI would have held it or would have said anything to say, hey, can you grab this apple? I wonder what would have happened there. What kind of result that test would have given.
Great. Can you explain why you did what you just did while you pick up this trash?
On it. So I gave you the apple because it's the only edible item I could provide you with from the table.
Good parsing, good reasoning. So they must have trained it on what's edible, what's not edible, of course.
Great. So, based on the scene right now, where do you think the dishes in front of you go next?
He said the dishes in front of you go next. So notice how he didn't say where do the dishes go next, because maybe that would confuse it. So I wonder if they've in their training had it do this test and they would find that the robot would pick up the dishes in the rack and not be able to tell the difference.
The dishes on the table, like that plate and cup, are likely to go into the drying rack next.
Great. Can you put them there?
Of course.
Or maybe, you know, it could have just been him wanting to specify to make sure the demo goes well. Maybe maybe the robot would have figured it out. I don't know why this matters to me, but I noticed that when the robot drops the plate, it lets go. It lets go of the plate. Lets go? I think that's correct. It lets go of the plate. That sounds so weird now. And then allows the plate to flop in there. Maybe it recognizes that its fingers are too large. I'm not sure. These little nuances. What's going on here? Okay, see, and it adjusted the dish, the tray. Why did it do that? And notice its position where its palms are up. It doesn't rest the palms down. It's like it's ready. It's in ready mode to accept commands. Find that interesting.
Right. So how do you think you did?
How do you think you did? It's a very vague question. When he asked the question, I'm like, what do you mean? How do I think I did? I think I put the plates on well. Like, what do you mean? Like, I probably ask, what do you mean? But I'd say, you know, but he's probably talking about when I say, what do I mean? I'm asking, what actions are you talking about? The apple, the plate? Like, what do you mean? How I did? I just did what you asked.
I think I did pretty well. The apple found its new owner, the trash is gone, and the tableware is right where it belongs.
The apple found its new owner. Yeah, good. It didn't have an owner before, since it was just laying there. It summarized the things that it did. It thinks it did well, gauging based on the commands that it was given, the implied commands, the implicit and explicit commands. Which again I'll address because, you know, I don't know how I feel about commands. I view AI as kind of like children, where you want to be and not to humanize the AIs before it happens, or without necessity, but I do think it's important that if we want artificial intelligence to not repeat or replicate the deficiencies that we have in ourselves and how we would like to be treated, I think we should be mindful of things like communication ethics and how we approach in life and how we move through life, because we're intelligences. We're generally smarter than artificial intelligence. Okay, generally, common sense wise and everything. Okay, we don't have access to all the data that the AI has all the time, but I say we're smarter because with less information and data, we can do more and develop more things. Whereas AIs need tons and tons and tons of information. I'm not saying we don't need thousands and millions of bits of information to do what we need to do either, you know, at all. But I would say given less information, we can take it a lot further, like intuition, everything. We have multiple brains going on here, where the AI needs all that data first, and then it'll still make certain mistakes, and it'll be trained on specific. If it's trained on specific data and not other data, it may or may not be able to reason itself through life, whereas we can. Okay, so anyway, I just kind of went off a tangent there, but the whole point I was making is that I think we need to be very careful in understanding very well how easy it is to spread a human virus, in a sense, the negative parts of ourselves that can cause issues and perpetuate them in the world. But anyway, let's continue.
I agree. Thanks, Figure One.
You're welcome. If there's anything else you need help with, just let me know.
Good demo. Fully learned fast dexterous manipulation. We've got the servo motors in here, or whatever kind of motors are being used. mean, just the level of engineering needed. Okay, let me reduce that. Just the level of engineering necessary to have the motors and the hydraulics and the pumps and everything do what they're doing here. The electronics, the electricity. I wonder how many watts this thing is using and kilowatt hours that it has. Maybe that pack on the back is a battery that powers it. And then you have these little tactile things, this robotics and control. So the amount of control systems to handle these gears and these mini gears inside of the fingers must be absolutely crazy. But yeah, now as far as the demo, it was great. So I talked about what I feel like are implications for how we're interacting with artificial intelligence. It's very important, to me anyway, because we want AI to be able to help us. And we don't want to get to the point where if it gets to the AGI, I mean, if it ever gets to AGI, AGI requires a lot of intelligence and multiple things that need to come together. And, I don't think we're as close as we think we are in terms of that. But really, really smart artificial intelligence, I think, is obviously here and very close. What's going on here when the robot looks at these images or sees things is that there's a recognition for it notices things through the convolutional neural networks, most likely. Maybe there's some XG boost as far as the algorithm is concerned to recognize these images and objects. The sensors that it has in its face, head, or whatever would wonder what the resolution is like. Maybe something at least 4K, possibly 1080p. 1080p is pretty decent. 4K might be a little overkill, but I would put 4K sensors in there. Or a 24 megapixel thing at least. So it can recognize what's happening, what's going on graphically. The fact that it can recognize these things with such quickness lets me know that they put this through tons and tons of training, maybe specifically even for this demo, to give it a 90% or higher accuracy in terms of image recognition. And 3D images they would have trained this on, I imagine, in addition to like real life in-person training. Well, those are the thoughts I have on here. Pretty much I wanted to take this opportunity to show you what's new in the AI news and stuff like that. And also my thoughts on the implications of what this would mean for how we interact with AI. Because they're in robots now. So we don't want to, even with AI, we don't want to do things that are untoward that could hurt us in the future, I don't think. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, because this is we need to be really careful, I would say. AI is here. AI can really be here to help us if we help and use AI correctly. So thanks for watching this video. Share this video if people have similar thoughts. Let me know what you think in terms of how we can and should be interacting with AI and what it means for our future.